they eat it, thinking what wonderful grit. And that also gives them lead poisoning. So the WWT are keen to ban lead shot in the UK, but as yet it's not been approved. That is not the only reason. They are struggling in that on their migratory path, a lot of their traditional stopover points are no longer wetlands. As man strives to make more food, feed the world, more and more of the wetlands are being turned to farmland, which of course is difficult for these wonderful creatures. They are not breeding in numbers that are suitable for reasons that nobody really knows. So, for example, there are 24 adult Buicks with us at the moment, not one cygnet amongst them, which is quite worrying. We hope that that changes. We've done a lot of research. Those of you that are members of the WWT will no doubt have read about Sasha Dench last year, who flew in a microlight with the migrating birds, purely to raise profile and awareness of what they're all about. So, much research going on. They're a beautiful bird, they're smaller than the hoopers, they're shyer than the hoopers, and when they do come here in numbers, they will keep to the back of the reserve or over towards Friends Hide. But numbers will increase with a peak round about mid-December through to the early January. So those are the three swans. Just recap, so you've got mutes that are UK residents, hoopers that come from Iceland, and Buicks that come from northern Russian tundra. But of course there are other birds out there which I'll briefly talk about. First and foremost, and I will not dismiss this bird, the mallard. Those are beautiful birds. And if you catch a mallard in the sunlight, a male mallard, he's absolutely delightful. Just look at his little curled tail. It's beautiful, and we tend to ignore them because they're everywhere. Interestingly, some of the mallards that you're looking at will actually be migratory birds. So these are mallards, they're UK residents, but they're worldwide. You see them literally everywhere around the world. There's a little tiny duck swimming around with a chestnut head, black chest, black bottom, grey body. And if you look very carefully, he's got red eyes, a bit like mine on New Year's Day. And he's got the most delightful pale blue bill. Now, he's a pochard. He's a diving duck, so he feeds off the bottom, related to the bird I mentioned earlier, the Madagascan pochard. And this wonderful bird is a migratory bird, and there's one thing that's a bit of a problem. They're all the same colour, currently bar one. They're all blokes. The girls are pushed off to the south of France and Spain, which is where they spend the winter months. And the rationale behind that is that the males have less distance to fly back to their breeding grounds in northern Europe, so they will return early to prepare the breeding ground for the arrival of the females. That is one theory. There are plenty of others, including mat reading, but I won't go there. The other thing to bear in mind, there is one female pochard out there. If you look very carefully, she's a brown bird, fairly plain, yawning quite a lot. There's an awful lot of men looking after her. So those are pochards. We've got about 200 or 300 on site. Normally we get up to about 1,000.